I'll be doing a quick video today showing off how to install the side panels on your Ha3, Ha4 Acty. Here's this finished side, and let's get into it. First things first, you're going to notice these two little ABS pieces when shipped to you. These just go under the hinges right here to help guide you how far to space the side panels down. We're going to be going back and forth between this vehicle up on the lift and this one where I'll actually be doing it. I do not have any stock vehicles anymore. I've cut them all up and done lots of stupidity with them. So bear with me. I'm going to try and make it as informative as possible. So yeah. Pretending that I still have my hinges on the side, what I usually do is I'll take some jack stands and put them under here just to kind of hold it up to get it going for me, and put my gauge on so I can set my height for the front and the back, make sure that's all in place, and then I'll go through with tape. I'm just using packing tape, but duct tape and anything else works. So I just do this to kind of hold it here because it flops around. Just get it taped up, it's sort of in place. So now I have it sort of mocked up on here. Then once it's in, I make sure that it is flushed up with the front right here. So you want this to be riding along this line, and back here it should be, I've cut mine, but it should be flushed up with the stock. Now what I'm going to do is I mark out all my holes with Sharpie just so I know where they're at, and now we're going to start drilling. Now I'm going to start and drill my first two holes. I'm using a 1/4 inch drill bit. Let me get some cutting fluid on here, and I'm going to be drilling out the very front and very back hole on the up top. Usually I start with a smaller drill bit, but I'm just doing this because of what I have handy right now. So we're going to be drilling out this front up top one and this back one, and we're going to get our hardware through there. You don't have to impact these on, but I'm using an impact. If you want to sink your hardware in a little bit further, you can just continuously impact it a little bit. You don't want to punch through your entire piece, but it'll help recess that hardware back in there if you don't want it sticking out all the way. So I'll go through with my 7/16 wrench and my 5/32 Allen, and kind of finagle to get that wrench back up in there. This side's tricky because you have the battery box here. So I got my wrench on there, and we're gonna impact it. Cool. And then we're gonna do the same for the front, and now our side skirt's actually on there. Now that I have this secured on there, I'm going to go through and drill out the rest of my holes, except for this one. Do not drill this hole out. We're going to do this one last. That's the one to the left of the one that we've already done. The battery should be behind this one. This one doesn't apply on the other side, but for the side with the battery, make sure that we don't drill that one out to that 1/4 inch. I've got the rest of my hardware in now, except for this one. I'm going to go through and get those all tightened up. Once again, using that Allen and the 7/16, and then I will get back with the next step. Now for this hole, we're going to go through with a number 3 or a 7/32 drill bit. I recommend a number 3, and we're going to get that hole drilled out, and then with the tap that's included, we're going to tap that hole. So let's get that hole drilled out first, and then I'll go over tapping it. Now that I got my hole drilled, I'm going to go through with my tap. I'm going to make sure that my drill is on the slowest speed setting. And I'm going to get some oil on it just to make it nice and clean. And you want to go in as straight as possible into the hole. Slowly in. And back out. And now we have a tapped hole. This one, I would always recommend being careful with. Don't impact it or anything of the like. You don't have many threads on there. You have maybe 2.5. So I'd be careful when taking this one on and off. And then we're going to take our 1/4 28, our shorty little bolt that's in the kit, and an Allen key. We aren't impacting it. And we'll get this one in there. Got it started. And I'd say that's about as tight as I want that one. So now that we have that all on, all of our hardware's in and tight, I'll take our mock-up tape off and we'll move on to the back piece. Now we're gonna get our back piece on. It fits around the rubber bumper piece right here. We're just gonna get it mocked up, make sure that we have it straight, and then we're gonna get those holes drilled out. I'm currently standing on top of another K truck to do this, so I'm gonna get those holes drilled out and then we'll go to the next step. Got one hole drilled out, but I'll show me drilling another. We'll do this one down here. Got that hole drilled out, and we'll get our third and final hole done. One done. Now that I have all my holes drilled, I push my screws through. We're gonna get that hardware on the back and get our rear piece tightened in. For this one up here, you actually need to drill through 2 bits of metal, but the hardware is long enough to go through both of them, and then you can still get your hardware on the back there. Get them all finger tight, and I'll hit them with the wrench and the impact. And getting your hands up in here on some of these is kind of tight, but I promise you can get to all of them. You might just need to do some finagling. All right, and we'll get all 3 of those tightened up, and now we got our rear piece on. And now we're gonna get our badges on. I put all 3 screws on, except for this one, because we still gotta drill a hole for that one. But now I'll go through, I'll get my washers and nuts on the back side for our badges. We'll get all 3 of those on, and then I'll show you what to do for number 4. Now we're going to go through with that same drill bit that we used for our tapped hole earlier. We're going to drill this little guy out right here. And now we're able to get our 4th and final screw through there and get our hardware on the back side. And this helps just add that little bit more rigidity. And, oh, I dropped the nut. But now we have our full piece done. Now we have our full pieces on. For the other side, just repeat the same exact steps, but now we have our gas cap cut out, so just make sure that you have it fitting around that. Set the heights and everything, drill your holes. This side's actually easier as you don't have the battery. There's nothing in the way here, so it's really easy to get your arm reached up back around here. The gas tank's here, but it's far enough away that you can easily get your arm up in here. So get the other side done and you should be rolling.